Well, thanks for clicking on the webinar, and I'm really excited to get started with you. And really, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy, busy lives. I know how hard it is to take out about a 90-minute segment and really sort of dig in, but we've got so much great stuff in store for you. So you want to eliminate all of your distractions, close your door, turn off your Facebook, make sure you get out a pen and piece of paper, because I'm going to be sharing with you some really great tips, tools, and techniques that's going to get you into this business right away and get you started from right after you listen to this webinar. Now, I don't care if you're brand new at real estate, if you're just starting, or if you have $40 million worth of real estate and everything in between. I promise you, you will leave with a whole bunch of techniques that a lot of people don't know anything about that you can add to your business right away. Now, I teach buying both notes and REOs and everything in between, because I feel that if you're going to buy from the most motivated sellers in the world, the banks, the hedge funds, these motivated sellers who have lots of inventory, if you go to them and offer to buy both their non-performing notes and their REOs and help them with their problem everywhere in between, they're going to want to work with you, and you're going to bypass the market. So it works really well for me. It's been working really well for my students, and it's really launched my career. Now, the other thing is, you can stay small if you'd like, but you can go big. And as far as I have found, it has been easier for me to go big. Now, I started small, and I didn't really need to start that way, but I really very quickly went from buying a 3-family, actually, directly from a bank, to buying 104 units. And I can tell you, it was actually easier to go to that 104-unit apartment complex, believe it or not. It's easier for me to manage and everything. Now, I don't care if you'd like to stay small. It's fine. I will take you there. If you want to go big, I will take you there. But don't be afraid, and really the profits are going to be as soon as you can get there. Another thing, make your money when you buy. You know, everyone's been telling me that since day one, and I'm sure I'm not the first one to say that to you. You make your money when you buy. And this is a perfect opportunity, a perfect storm to get into these markets, buying both notes and REOs and making that great discounted deal. Because really, in the end, all you need to do is find a great deal. That's it. Now, another thing that I find are people are, nervous. They say, oh, well, I can't go big yet, or, this is going to be too advanced for me, or it's going to be too hard for me. I'm going to show you how to do this simply. I'm going to show you how to, they say, how do you eat an elephant? You eat it one bite at a time. I'm going to give you little tiny bites in order for you to catapult your business very quickly. And I know how to simplify things because I'm used to talking to high school kids. I used to be a high school art teacher. So I'm used to breaking things down and getting them simple. But it really is all about, in this market, finding that great deal. That's where the money is. Again, this is going to be a great program for anyone who's advanced real estate buyers or brand new. So get out your piece of paper, take lots of notes. I have paved the way for you in this business. I've made it easy for you. So listen up and follow us. We've paved the road. So let's launch right into it. Today, we're going to discover how going big is actually easy. Again, we're going to take small bites out of the big elephant, and we're going to make it easy. And guess what? You can, from making those small bites, make money day one in this business, regardless of your credit, regardless of how much money you have, and regardless of your experience. That's what makes this so amazing. I started as an art teacher. I had no real estate experience. I'm going to help you. I'm going to tell you about that story coming up. But if I can do this, you can too. And in fact, you know what? I want you to write this down on your note paper in really big letters. I can do this. Now, again, if you're really advanced, I don't care. Write it down. It's all about knowing that you can do it. And I'm going to say again, if I can do this, you can do this, and my students have too. How to find deals from anywhere. That's using my system. You can actually find deals from anywhere. And I have students in Sydney, Australia. I have students in China, in Taiwan, and they're buying deals. They're making deals in America. They're stealing your deals, so you got to get out there and do it. I buy from anywhere. This is a pajama business. A lot of times I don't get out of my pajamas for the day, which is not a bad thing. And I don't have to go anywhere, really. And I'm going to show you how that works as well. Now, if once you are buying the deal and you've actually got it under contract, that's when you can go out and see it. But I can tell you, you can do so much of this business from your easy chair. And if you're just going to put the deal together and wholesale the deal, which means you're going to put that deal together and sell the piece of paper, sell the contract, or sell the letter of intent, write that down, the letter of intent, or if it's a note deal, it might be called an indicative bid. Write that down, indicative bid. You can sell that, and if it's a great deal, it's worth a lot of money. In fact, the bigger the deal it is, the more money that's worth as a wholesale deal. How to make massive profits just by putting an REO or note deal together. So just by getting that deal, putting it together, and again, I'm going to give you all the tools to do it, you can make massive profits right away. There are actually two ways to make money right away in this business. The first way is to wholesale. That's in 30 days you could be seeing a check, and that's by putting that deal together. And again, maybe selling the letter of intent, basically working with a wholesale buyer and selling that letter of intent, and in which you would have put no money down on that, to doing the entire deal and getting what's called an acquisition fee. Write that down, acquisition fee. I'll tell you something. I didn't know anything about acquisition fees, and they are truly standard in this business. And what it is it's 1 to 5% of your purchase price that goes in your pocket day one for closing on the deal, for putting the deal together, for bringing in the investors, for finding the deal. And it's standard. You can use it in the note business, and you can use it in the REO business, and again, everything in between. The 4 easy steps that will consistently add money into your bank account right now. And a proven and complete system that generates serious profits quickly in as little as 29 days. I really have put together a systemized process that can really catapult your business, again, regardless of your experience. So I consider myself a transaction engineer, and that's what I teach you to be by working along with these banks and fixing their problem. Now, it doesn't even matter if you're working with banks or private sellers or hedge funds or asset managers, portfolio managers of these notes or REOs. If you can come up, and my system will work with all of those people or brokers, if you can come up with a win-win solution and really create that transaction or be the engineer for that transaction, that's really what's going to lead you to ultimate success. So I'm a transaction engineer. I started 8 years ago with no real estate experience. In fact, I was really good at throwing pottery, throwing pots, and painting and drawing. And actually, I'm a songwriter. I'll tell you a little bit about that later. But I went from that with no experience to me and my partners owning over 1,500 apartments, 420 units of notes, which we've wholesaled and such. We've raised over $25 million in private money. This coming from none of my friends and family, because I was a closeted investor. Many of you may feel that way. I was so afraid to tell anyone what I was doing that I didn't tell anyone what I was doing, especially my friends and family, because I thought they would think I was crazy. I'll give you a tip. Don't tell anyone what you're doing if you know that person is going to say, you're crazy, you can't do it, what are you thinking, any of those things. Talk to people who say that you can. And I'm going to tell you, again, if I can do it, you can do it, and I don't care what your experience is, you can do this business. It's so incredibly exciting. We bought over $52 million worth of property. That's $16 million in positive equity. It's great cash flow every month. And I'm going to tell you about the great cash flow every month. Basically, cash flow, well, you make your money in really three ways in this business. You make your money right away. That's a big chunk. That's either in the acquisition fees, as what we talked about, or the wholesaling fees. The second way is if you buy these properties and notes as notes or REOs and you convert them to notes, or you make those notes reperforming, or you convert them to REOs and you own the property, you get cash flow from positive cash flow that comes from the income minus the expenses, and that goes into your pocket every single month, month after month after month. That's going to replace your job. Well, guess what happens with that income? That income comes in from your tenants, from your from whoever is leasing the property. It pays for everything. It pays for your mortgage, your insurance, your maintenance to keep the property up and running, your manager to make sure that you're really not doing that much, and that pays for everything. And then the positive cash flow goes into your pocket month after month after month. Now you would do that with a small deal or a big deal. The bigger the deal, the bigger the checks. The third time that you make money in this business is by selling the deal, or refinancing the deal. But we'll talk about selling the deal. Of course, that's where your big bang, your big cash comes from. I've helped create many multimillionaires. Now, I'm not going to say that I created them. I didn't create them. They took my program and they went crazy with them. And it's an amazing feeling to be able to really change people's lives like that, and really from my system seeing them grow. And it doesn't even matter what background they had. It's really incredible. They might have been a flight attendant or a stay-at-home mom or unemployed or a lawyer or a doctor or, all of these different walks of lives. And now, within 2 years, they've been able to completely change everything and their legacy. The last thing that I like to teach is the socially responsible investor. A lot of you might want to know and might feel really good about the idea that just by going out there and doing this business, you can really make a huge difference in the world and everyone's lives. What I've been able to do is, after I bought my second property, I was about at 200 units, I realized that if I took one of those units and made it into a community center, and I could really do some great things. And in that community center, I do after-school activities, tutoring, after-school lunch programs, even some babysitting, but also business building, resume writing, family planning, neighborhood watch programs. And really, you can create such a strong community and really start to put smiles on so many faces. Look, I have 1,500 apartments. 1,500 times 4, that's the average family. That's 6,000 people. If I can put that many smiles on 6,000 people, by the way, that's the size of a small town where I'm from. I'm from Connecticut, and it's the size of a really a big town in other places as well. So it's just a fantastic feeling. And again, I run my properties from anywhere. I actually have it down to running. Now, I own these properties. I'm not saying that you have to do that, but I have it down where I can have a manager manage these properties and from very far away, and it works out great. Same thing with notes. When it's a note, what you will get is, you write this down, you have a servicing company. Write that down. You have a servicing company. Even if it's a single family, or all the way up to whatever size, that servicing company will actually collect your checks. They'll do everything for you. They'll even do they'll even negotiate a loan modification or different things, and we'll go into that as well. Unfortunately, we have 90 minutes together, so we don't really have all the time in the world, but I'm going to get through lots of stuff for you. So why do you want to buy from banks now? It is a buyer's market right now. Do not wait. I will say that if something were to ever happen to me and I were to lose everything, I could build it right back up in 2 years with the knowledge that I have. It's a buyer's market. I have never seen a market like this. I've only been around for eight years in real estate, but when I first got into it in 2006, I had everyone was saying, "Oh my God, you missed the boat. You missed the boat. You should have been in the '80s." That's when all the banks were selling all their properties for nothing. Well, guess what? These same people say, "Oh my God, they're selling them more now than ever before." Don't miss the boat this time. Again, it's a window of opportunity, I would say, for the next 2 to 4 years. You want to get as much knowledge as you possibly can, and I will promise you, my students and I are doing better now in this market right this second with the banks than we ever have before. So it's a phenomenal market. Grow your wealth exponentially. You can make money right away in this business. When most wealth in this country, in the U.S., and I may be talking to some international people because I do have some international students, most wealth in this country was made by real estate. And the bigger you go, and all we're going to do is find that deal. It's as easy as that. You don't have to close on this deal because there's plenty of people who will want to buy that deal from you. I'll tell you, the first deal that I got was a 104-unit property, my first large deal. I got it under contract, and I got 3 offers. One was from my attorney, the next one was from my mortgage broker, and the next one was from an investor that I found. All 3 of them said the same thing. If you can't close on this deal, I will buy it from you. And that last investor offered me $120,000 for that one piece of paper. For that one piece of paper. And the only reason I got that one piece of paper was because the seller liked me. That one piece of paper was worth more than 4 years, actually almost 5 years of being an art teacher. Incredible. It's an incredible business. Amazing deals attract investors. I find a lot of my students say, "Oh my God, I don't want to beg people for money. I don't want to ask people for money." Listen, these great deals attract investors. You're doing them a great service. And guess what? You're also doing them a great service if you wholesale the deals. That's for sure. There's so many wholesale buyers out there that would love to buy your notes or your REOs well before you get them even under contract, or well before you close on them. A lot of times they want to be involved in the part of the contract making. And I have all the forms for you to wholesale. And I have plenty of people that you would even want to wholesale too. But you're going to want to get a lot of your own contacts, but I've got all the contacts for you as well. So it really is a great opportunity. Great discounts with great terms are safer. And guess what? Let's go back to why it's the time. It's a buyer's market. In 2006, when I started, it was something like 6 or 8% of all deals had some sort of creative financing to it, meaning the seller participated in the financing in some sort of way. Now it's about 58%. So 58% of all deals, whether they be notes or REOs, have some sort of great terms attached. And I'm going to talk about creative financing later because I love putting together creative deals. It makes them way more valuable to be wholesaled. Or, the less amount of money that you have to put into these deals, the more valuable they are. Also, there's so many great discounted deals out there. Now, you're going to hear a lot of naysayers out there that say, "Oh, no, you can't buy from them. You can't. Stop listening to the you can'ts. Start saying you can. I hope you wrote that on top of your paper. I can do this. Be the go-to person. When you start working with the banks, you're going to start establishing yourself as the go-to person. You're going to establish lead flow. You're going to start getting deals. Be that go-to person. Be that person that you want to talk to. So write this down. So notes and REOs equal freedom. Write that down. Write that down because it really is, I don't need to get out there and speak to you. I love teaching this stuff. I love sharing it. I love what my students have been able to do. But what pays me month after month after month is owning both notes and REOs. And it's a passive income scenario. It's really allowed me all the freedom in the world to do whatever I want when I want. And really to do it from my PJs, because I do it from here. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to be able to have passive income like this. So notes and REOs equal freedom. It will change your life. You just let me pave the way for you. Follow my lead. When I first started copying other people, that's when I became successful at this. So write this down. All you need to do is find the deal. Construct the deal. That's where all the money is putting that deal together. Wholesale the deal or find a JV partner and collect your money. That's all you need to do. Please write down those 4 simple steps. Find the deal. Construct the deal. That's where the money is. Wholesale the deal or find a JV partner and collect your money. Again, if this seems simple right there, it is. But a lot of people can't break it down into the simplicity and they give up. Just find that deal. I've got all the tools to help you construct it. I've got all the places for you to find it, and I've got the places to wholesale it or close on it and collect your money. So I like to talk about this for a moment because I think it's incredibly important that you know why it is you're doing this. Why is it? I don't think it can all just be about you. I think you should think about, what is it that you want to do and write it down. Do you want a big boat, nice cars? Do you want to spend time with your family, vacations? Do you want to make sure that your retirement is safe and secure? Write down why it is that you're doing this. Do you have some sort of philanthropic idea, a charity, your local charity, your national charity? What do you want to do? What's incredible about doing this and kind of building this, I never thought I would get to 1,500 units. I thought I would get a 3-family and actually move my kids and my family into one of the units, rent out the other 2 so I could pay for my mortgage. I didn't know it was going to explode. And the reason why it really exploded was because my why was far greater than me. So this is me. I was an art teacher. I'm a singing dirt floor. I have a children's rock band called Spaghetti Cake. I was teaching art, and I had my master's degree actually in art. You don't make a lot of money as your master's degree in art. It was a fantastic job. I loved it. I just absolutely loved teaching kids art. I loved painting, drawing, and I taught all of that. My children's rock band is about 14 years old. We play schools, churches, concerts on the green. Here are my kids. This is Vale. She's actually in the middle. There's Fox, who's 10, right there on the side with the Aruba shirt. And Aiden, he's 6. That's my family. And one of the biggest whys, of course, is right there. Here's another shot of them. Actually, so this is Fox on the left-hand side. I'll show you my right there. That's Fox. And then when he was 18 months, I had my daughter Vale. It was a perfect pregnancy and everything was great. I was very happy as an art teacher. I was making not a lot of money. I was living off of some credit cards, which is kind of sad when you have your master's degree in something and you're still living off credit cards. But that was sort of where my life was going to be forever. Except then suddenly when she was born, it was a perfect pregnancy, but she was asphyxiated at birth. And the doctor told me that she would never walk or talk or move independently, or even eat independently, which was devastating, of course, and it changed my entire life. I realized right then that there was no way I could ever go back to teaching. There was no way I could put her in daycare, and I was thinking, well, they would have to prop her up, or And I knew that I had to do all these really intense physical therapies with her, and I actually loved doing that too because, being able to stay home obviously was huge, but it was the only option. I didn't see another option there. So my life completely changed at that moment, sort of like bam, suddenly, I wasn't going to be doing my job anymore. Um, so about 5 days into it, after she was born, I also thought, well, who's going to take care of her if something had happened to me? And so I started researching how to make money. And I was so embarrassed about this. I took out a book from the library and I covered it with paper, and it was a how to make money book basically. And it just kept saying real estate, real estate, real estate. You have to do real estate. So I started to learn everything I possibly could about real estate. And I was not in a good market. I was in Connecticut, and I realized that I had to go big because no one really cared about me. I was in if I bought a 3-family, and I had to go far away to buy the 3-family because of the market. Well, what great opportunity. I mean, so anyway, so I went big. But I got out there and I took action. And I'll tell you something, I hated this business. I hated everything about it when I started. I hated getting calls from brokers. I hated calling banks. I hated talking to investors. In fact, I would pace. The phone would ring and I would pace back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and not answer the phone. And then, I would fail would be my why that just pushed me through. You have to do this. You have to do this. Another thing is, my husband has no interest in real estate at all. In fact, when I say real estate, he's asleep by real and that's it. He's out. So that's another reason why I love making contact with people like you who really like take off and want to hear about this stuff, so I don't bore everyone at home. But that's the thing, is you don't have to have, your spouse. I love the fact that my spouse is not on board, because he supports me. It's all fine. But don't worry about that. Just get out there and do it. All right, so buying REOs and notes. Let's do it. What are REOs? REOs are real estate owned. They're bank owned. Now, the bank does not know how to own property, and I'm going to tell you something, they absolutely 100% do not want to. An REO now was a note that has been foreclosed on, and now it's a real estate owned, and it's owned by the bank. Now, typically these deals, when it's owned by the bank will clean it of liens and judgments. So they'll pay off the taxes and they'll get rid of different judgments usually when it's been foreclosed on. REOs are the best time to buy a property. And really the trick is to buy from the bank or to create a deal flow there from REOs. Now, many, many, many times I get my REOs by originally working with the bank as a note. And then what they'll do is I'll help them to foreclose on that note, and then as sort of like a deed in lieu, write that down, deed in lieu of foreclosure. That means that you go to the owner gives the deed and walks away. And the reason why he would do that is because he's over leveraged. But you're going to buy from the bank much, much cheaper than where he's at in terms of what he owes or she owes. Now let's talk about note buying. What is note buying? It's a piece of paper. It's just one person's promise to pay with terms. And those terms remain the same. So when you buy that, so if you were to put a deal down on a note, let's say it was a $100,000 note. Well, that note, that mortgage or deed is still $100,000. But you may buy that note from the bank for, let's say, $50,000. Now, why would the bank want to do that? I will completely share with you why that happens all the time, and I'll tell you something else. Banks have been selling to each other for years and years and years and years and years, since notes were ever invented. They've been selling to people for years and years and years and years, ever since notes have been invented. So the terms also remain the same. And now what that means is it'll stay at $100,000, right? And the terms will stay the same as well. So they'll sell you that note, and that person still owes $100,000, and they're still expected to pay 6% interest, 10% interest, whatever it is, on that note for the next 5 years. That note may have expired. It may have ballooned, and that means that note is now due, and they have to pay the entire thing. I'm going to discuss the differences between a non-performing note and a note that is performing. But let me just tell you something. A note does not have to be, someone may be paying on that note, but it can still be non-performing, and I'll share with you how that works. You really want to know the bank's motivation, because it is an incredible motivation, and you're going to find out why exactly they want to work with you, and they do. And again, more so than any other time that I have ever seen, even 3 months ago. It's incredible. So notes are mortgages, deeds of trust, promissory notes. You could have they're secured by things, all right? So they're secured by, sometimes they're secured by just the person's name. That would be sort of a credit card loan. Or they're secured by something like a piece of real estate, a house, apartment complex, and it means that that is the collateral behind that note, so they can go and take it, basically, the collateral. You can have a note on a boat, so a boat could be the collateral. You could have a diamond ring that has a loan on it. Now, there's only 2 types of notes. There's performing and non-performing. That's it. Write that down. Performing or non-performing. You can buy performing notes, that's fine, but they usually sell much higher. Non-performing are where you get your deep discounts, and those are the ones that I concentrate on. Now, a performing note is the person's paying on it. He's paying as asked, and it's performing. Let me tell you why a note might be non-performing. And by the way, I am not telling you to go and buy bad assets. There's lots of great assets out there, and a lot of times when these deals are in trouble, the bank just starts throwing money at them, in fact. So there's performing and there's non-performing. Non-performing note, it works like this. A non-performing note, the person may not be paying on it. That may make it non-performing. It may be non-performing because the guy or the woman has stopped paying its taxes. It may be non-performing because the bank is in trouble. That could make a non-performing note. It could be non-performing if it's upside down. Let's say that same $100,000 note has a property that's only worth $100,000. That means that the note is now non-performing. What if a property is only worth $80,000 and the note is for $100,000? It is a non-performing note. So but the person could be paying on it. Another big one, and a big one for commercial real estate and multifamilies, is a note could be non-performing because it's about to balloon or it's about to come due. And that's huge. That's a huge opportunity right now for us because there's so many non-performing notes, so many notes that are about to come due, and people are going to have to walk away from them because there's, now, by the way, they're backed by collateral. I like real estate because you can really value real estate. There's a lien position. Now, the lien position could be in first position or second position. Both you can make some really great deals with. We like both. You want to do both. Now, another thing that I wanted to say about all of these notes coming due is a lot of them are what's called, and write this down, you have recourse loans and non-recourse loans. A non-recourse loan means that the property is secured, or the loan is secured just by the property. That's a non-recourse loan. A recourse loan means that the person owes what they hand back the property, but they also need to hand back any assets that also pay for the deficiency of that property, meaning whatever the property doesn't pay for in that loan, now that owner that is on the hook for all those other things. Well, a lot of these bigger deals have non-recourse loans attached, which are going to allow for a big discount with the banks, because the banks are going to because the owner's going to walk away. But there's a lot that just makes it more fun. Well, this is a tragedy. There has been, we got hit. There was a huge market hit, and it's a sad thing for America. But the only people who are going to get us out of this problem are individual investors. We tried to leave it up to the banks. They didn't do such a good job. So all you're doing is helping the economy by going out there and doing this. Now, why does the bank need you? And this is phenomenal, okay? They need to shift their balance sheets first off. Now, this is how a loan works. When they first take, and by the way, you want to know how to do both REOs and notes because you want to solve these problems, but listen to what is happening to them. All right, so when the bank takes out a note, let's say you come in and you borrow $100,000 of that note. You borrow $100,000. They have to take, and this is a performing note, 6 to 8% and set it aside. And they cannot loan on 6 to 8% of that note. So that means that the bank can no longer lend on $6,000 to $8,000 of that $100,000 loan. Now, if it has now been flagged as a non-performing loan, they have to reserve 7 times that bad loan. 7 times the bad loan in order that they cannot lend on. That's $700,000. So if you come in and you offer $50,000 for that deal that's worth $100,000, where that house is worth $100,000, and now you offer $50,000, they get to put $650,000 back into play. So do you see why they would be incredibly motivated? They need a new buyer or sponsor, and that's another thing. You can also, and we've done this several times, where we've stepped in as a new buyer or a new sponsor to also make that loan good again. Now, the other thing is the banks cannot manage property, and they do not want to. They just simply don't want to, and they shouldn't, because they get as soon as a property management company knows that they're dealing with an REO or even a note, they're going to start. They put up a lot of the costs of servicing it. It really is incredible. It puts you in a fantastic position, because when you go and you see these deals, there's great value plays when they're dealing with high expenses. Let's look at this. When there are bigger deals, it's income minus expenses equals really the value of the property. So if their expenses are high, they've now devalued the property. Well, you can go right in there and change those expenses and fix them. Or you can wholesale this deal to someone who also recognizes this, and it makes a very valuable deal for you. So bankers are motivated, and motivated sellers are our friends. And for the longest time that I've been into real estate, which is only the last 8 years, but all I've ever heard from is buy from motivated sellers. They're where you're going to get the deals. You don't want to buy from someone who's not motivated. You see why banks are so motivated. Here's another reason why banks are so motivated. Ready? Because banks are so motivated because they don't want to put this on the market, because they don't want to change. They have now invested in loans in their market. If they start selling things for a lot cheaper right on the open market, well, that's going to drive down the market values of their loans. So they're very motivated, and getting to them in both sections, getting to them as buying their notes and getting to them buying their REOs and everything in between. it really helps them out huge. And by the way, another reason why I would suggest starting to negotiate maybe some larger deals, you are no longer then working with the small guy. You're no longer working with the loss mitigator who's making $10 an hour. You start working with the asset manager, the vice president of the bank, the higher levels of the bank, and it's much easier to negotiate some deals with them. So this is easy. Find your deal. Construct the deal. Put that deal together. I'm going to give you some really cool creative deal structures that you can do. And in fact, in my course, I put in there 8 letters of intent, all these different cool constructions. So all you need to do is add your name, change the name of the LLC that's buying the deal, how much you want to buy it for, and it constructs it for you. Wholesale the deal or find a JV partner and collect your money. It's that easy. Here's one of my students' deal. Kevin from Connecticut. It's a single-family house, 22 acres. This was a note deal, by the way, in Connecticut. The UPB, write that down, the unpaid balance of the loan was $42,000. The purchase price was $22,000. That's what he bought it for. In 2012, this property appraised at $220,000. Huh. And he bought it for $22,000. He bought it for 10% of the appraised value. How did he do it? He called the bank. He took action. He took my course. He went to this bank, called them. Now, why did they sell to him? It was a small bank, and it was selling because of their relationship with the owner, and they didn't want to foreclose. Now, what the deal with the owner was an older woman who had passed away, who they had lent to on a regular basis. And then her son came along, and the bills went into the mailbox, and he forgot that he had to pay those loans in order to keep the properties. Well, they didn't want to foreclose. Now, some common myths. I need money. These are common myths about doing deals like this. I need money. You don't need money. You can put deals, when you put a letter of intent down, you're not putting money into escrow yet. You just need to find that great deal. This is too hard for me. I'm giving you every single tool, and I've broken it down really easy for you to do. Almost done for you. So it's not too hard for you. In fact, there's nothing that really separates me from anyone else except for the fact that I took action, and I'm a bit of a hard worker. But when I started this, my daughter was sick, so I put about 5 hours a week into it. And within 6 months, I had replaced my income completely with that 104-unit deal. If I can do this and my students can do this, you can do it too. I need good credit. You don't need any credit to do this. And the bigger you get, the less you need credit, because when you do a bigger deal, first off, if you're going to wholesale the deal, you're going to just put the deal together, they're not going to even look at your credit. If you're going to close on the deal, you're probably going to need to find someone, a sponsor, and there's lots of them who will come, or maybe your investor who will go on that note as well, or for you. So you don't need good credit. I have to start small before I can go big. Listen, start where you're comfortable, but go big as quick as you can, and you don't have to start small, because listen, how about starting small being, I go out there and I look for these deals, and then I put them in Sue's analyzer, and I know whether or not it's a good deal, and then I bring that analyzer to someone else. That's starting small, but with big buildings, with big profits. You do not have to start small before you go big. And I can promise you that so many people out there never start. I don't know a lot of people who started at 3 families and are suddenly doing 100 units. I know almost the opposite, where people just start where they start. Listen, start small or go big, but start. Take action. I need experience. We've paved the way for you. All of the experience you need is right here. And when you're buying these deals in the end, if they ask for experience and you're going to either use someone else who's going to help you with that experience or wholesale the deal. Here's my first 2 deals. This is my partner over here. That's Ed. He owns all the properties with me. the 1,500 units. He was not my investor. I met him at an educational conference. Here is my 3-family that was in Syracuse. This property, the 100 units, was easier to close on than this 3-family in the end. The 3-family took me 6 months to close on. The 100 units took me more. Sorry, I just went to that. All right, well, actually, now this is part of my program, and it's a software, but I just wanted to show this to you. Now, it might be a little small, but this changed my life when I first did it. By the way, this is a piece of my software. I have created an incredible software that just actually analyzes this for you. But this is a 5-year projection, and by the way, it does a lot more than this. But it basically looks at the deal from how I look at the deal. So it's like having me over your shoulder. But check this out. I just want to show you one deal, what one deal can do for you. By the way, I guess I can't use my mouse there. By the way, this is called an income and expense. This is a profit and loss. And what this is this changed my life when I first saw it. Now look, this is a 100-unit building. This is sort of an average 100-unit building. And so one deal. So if you could do one deal. Now, think about what this does for you. Now this is how I do my deals. It's a 50-50 split. Look at the projected cash flow. This is for one deal, $137,000 a year. Look at the next one, $158,000 a year. We split that with our investors. The return to the investors very large, and the return to you is very large. Here is the and actually this isn't with the 50-50 split, but there's we normally do a 50-50 split on this, but look at what that would split for you. Now, the investor's making a lot of money, and you're making a lot of money. So it's a win-win. But again, this software will do all this for you and then some. It shows exactly what the investor's getting, what kind of returns they're getting after 5 years, and why it's a great deal for them. And it sells your deals. It took me about 100 hours to actually create this software. And by the way, you barely have to put any numbers into it. You'll love it. So what that software does is it actually spits out 4 pieces of paper that shows everything by just putting in a few numbers, everything about the building, and or the note, and then what that investor or that wholesaler will buy it. What they will get, which is huge. I've had students who've gone in and showed my software to the banks, and the banks have said, "Oh my God, I just want to work with you because you know what you're talking about." It's an amazing tool. So, and that's part of this package. What's different about REO Note Profits? Listen, I use these tools every day. Every single thing in my package is something that I use every day, and that's why I created it. That software, I created that to use every day. I'm not a speaker. I'm a businesswoman who constructs deals. The speaking is something I do on the side, and I really enjoy it because I can't stop myself from teaching. But it's something, I do this business every day, and I take everything that I learn out there and bring it back in here. It's the most comprehensive and complete system. And by the way, I have one of the best customer service, I would say the best customer service departments in anything, because it's all about everyone being happy, and it really is. And this is a really complete and comprehensive system. It's created by a teacher. It's created by me, and I continue to use this package myself over and over and over. I basically took my entire business and put it in a box and made it as simple as possible for you to really catapult your business. So you want to do the big deals as soon as possible, but regardless of how big or small, I will get you there. I will get you there. Again, I've paved the way for you. Let me do it. Oh my God, here's one of our deals. We do some small deals from time to time, and of course big deals, and the reason why is because we're working with the banks anyway. We make connections with them. With this one, actually, the first connection was this deal, and then it brought us to other deals. This is a four-family in Willimantic, Connecticut. That's about where my partner lives, around the corner from there. We bought it. It was a loan. The original loan on it was for $320,000. We offered a short sale for $95,000. We had a realtor who put together the whole short sale. You know, it's big, lots of paper. We weren't about to do that. By the way, can you imagine what a short sale is like on a large property? How much paperwork it is? Guess what? It's like 2 pieces of paper. A profit and loss, the purchase and sale agreement. And the reason why is because you're working with, bigger people on those bigger deals. Anyway, we got nowhere. Oh, by the way, just on that same note, I've done a short sale on 200 units, and I did it through emails back and forth with basically the VIP of the bank. And he asked me to shorten my emails. He said, "Can you please just write shorter emails? Just tell me how much you want to buy it for and what the terms are." Anyway, so we tried to short sell it for $95,000. They wouldn't even talk to us. They give us a call after they foreclosed. They foreclosed on it. The next day they call us up. They say, "How about you buy it for $60,000? We offered $95,000. So we said, "Well, what about 55?" Well, anyway, it's a great deal. It cash flows at $1,700 a month, $20,400 a year. Put in your pocket. Now listen, why did I want to waste my time? Because I do larger deals with a 4-family. Well, look at this. The quick sale value of it was $190,000. That was a $130,000 profit. That's 5 years again of me teaching art. In one stroke, and this is one tiny small deal. By the way, that larger deal, you're looking at once that you for 100 units, you and your investors should be seeing about $10,000 a month. Now, split that with your investors, that's $5,000 a month. You don't have to do much when you're building up that kind of portfolio. It really is a life changer. One of the best deals I ever did, I never even met the banker on the ground. And that one deal, it will change the lives of my kids forever. And in fact, that was the one that was I was offered $1 million to wholesale for that piece of paper. What a life changer. What a life changer. Just get out there and do it. Creative structure. I love creative structure. I don't have a huge amount of time, so I can't go into all of these things, but the point too, I love to put together creative deals. And in fact, I was always an artist. I always made my money from art. Not a lot of money from art, but I find that this business is more creative than anything I ever did. Well, creative structure is simple. It's the key to massive profit. And by the way, attorneys have been my mentor. That's a lot of money for attorneys to be your mentor. Again, we've paved the way. We've spent maybe $400,000 plus in attorneys. Now, our investor has been the ones that have spent the money. And are they sad? No, because they made money. But you want to learn first what to do and then go to an attorney later. Creative entity structure. This is all in the package. Structure second so the bank doesn't know. That doesn't mean fool the bank and don't tell them about it. You want them to know about it. But I have found over and over and over that banks will set up these structures with me, and they love me for it because there's different arms of the bank. Component collateralization. Master lease option. We've been able to come in with no money, take over the property, make it better, and then get the bank to take back new financing. That's a master lease option, and it works really well. We've done it several times. We've had students do it several times. It's a perfect opportunity. Let me just tell you, 9 out of 10 of our deals and our students' deals on these bad deals, though the ones that have gone bad for the bank has taken back new financing for us. 9 out of 10 of the deals. You just need to know what to ask. Joint venturing. Now, let's just take one of these. Let's take component collateralization. That is a great technique, really cool. There are a lot of broken condos on the market. That means like they were built as condos, and now they overdid them, and they took out too much money, and the whole thing collapsed, and now they're renting them as apartments. Well, let's say now those are individually zoned. So let's say we get an offer, and this is actually a real deal. We get we get 10 units. This is a student deal, by the way, 10 units. And we agree to those 10 units. We buy them for $500,000. Okay, we agree to it. This is all on paper again. We're not bringing $500,000 in. See how easy it'll be to actually wholesale a deal like this. So we've agreed to $500,000. By the way, you can do this with a bank or with a private seller. And by the way, my entire package, it works with banks, it works with private sellers, it works with brokers, it works with any kind of seller. I just believe that, and so do many and most, that the most motivated seller right now are the banks. So component collateralization. So I'm going to buy these 10 units for $500,000. All right, Mr. Seller, I want to buy this deal for $500,000, but this is what I want to do. And by the way, you can write this down, but it is in your course. It's in one of the letters of intent, so all you have to do is write your name on it. I'm going to buy, let's do this. I want to buy the 7 for $500,000, and then I want you to deed me free and clear at closing 3 of those units. Well, I can do a couple things there. Now, by the way, the seller is getting exactly what they've asked for. So now what I can do is I can take the 3 units and get a new loan on that, and from a different bank, all above board, by the way, and get a loan on the 7 units. So let's say on the 7 units I get a loan for 80%, say $400,000. Then on a loan for the 3 units I get $150,000. I get a $150,000 loan. I can take that $150,000 and put it as a down payment, closing costs, acquisition fee on my 7 units, making it a no money down deal. I could wholesale those three units. Don't worry, it's in the course. If it's a little bit advanced, I promise that you guys get some great techniques if you are really advanced, and this is a good one. I could wholesale those 3 units. I could sell each one of those 3 units off by itself. Oh, there's so many really cool things you can do. I love creative structure. Now just imagine, I don't want to close on this because I'm too afraid. I'm afraid of the big numbers. I'm afraid to take action. So what I do is I wholesale it. How hard do you think it would be to wholesale that deal for some serious money? Right. Just get out there and take action. It's all in my course. Here's some real deals, all REOs, all notes, all either student deals or we did. Just going to go through them really quick. 200 units, bank finance, 65% appraised value. The bank financed the deal. 54-unit condos, REO, bank financed, 65% appraised value. By the way, that was also done with the component collateralization. Here's a 50-unit short sale that then became an REO while under contract, bought for 60% of appraised value. 480 units, all notes, wholesaled at a 55% appraised value, roughly. Those were all different ones, so that's where it all blended into. 276 units bought at 31% of appraised value. That is a life-changing deal. That is one of ours, changed our lives, period. 210 units, seller financing, loan, modify the loan, then short sale. So many cool things you can do. More real deals, 100 units, bank, REO, financed by the bank, in its entirety. 100 units, takeover, bank, president was set up the side LLC, 65% of appraised value. Many, many 4 families, many single families, many notes, many REOs, any size, whatever you want. My students are doing them. We're doing them. You want to take action. But start where you're comfortable. There are 3 reasons to buy from banks. You get the money today. That's the money from the acquisition fee or the wholesaling fee. You get money monthly. That's what goes into your pocket. That replaces your job, and it's from cash flow, positive cash flow, and money later. That's the big bang when you sell. There's no limit when you aren't limited in your deals. Do you see how you could sell those deals, wholesale those deals. Once they're really great deals, I mean, I'll tell you, we'll buy them. I know a whole bunch of wholesale buyers that will buy them. Just put together the deal. It's as simple as that. Just imagine what deals you could do. The sky is the limit. Here's Marsha from Charleston, South Carolina. I love Marsha. After 3 weeks of owning her course, I closed on my first note deal and have 3 more deals in the pipeline. Plus, I have even gotten an investor who wants me to analyze and partner on all of their deals because now I sound like I know what I'm talking about. Her course is fantastic. Yay, Marsha. Marsha is going out and really killing it, and it's just incredible what she's accomplished in such a short period of time. That's Marsha. If she can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. If my students can do it, you can do it. You want to start to do the big deals as soon as possible, but regardless of how big or small, I will get you there. Here are my top 4. I always ask, actually, people who are successful, what are their top 3? Here's my top 4. Take action. These are the top 4 reasons for my success. Take action. Get out there and do it. You know, I love that book title called Failing Forward. You know, these are all little mini failures to get you to you know, your actual goal. Listen, following someone who's paved the way before you is going to make it so you have a lot less failures. I can tell you that. Copy successful people. Once I started copying people and not trying to be so original all the time, that's when I became successful. Construct a great deal. You make your money when you buy. You make your money when you buy. Put together a great deal, some creative financing. Find that deal directly from the bank, notes, REOs. Wholesale it. And lastly, paint the world gold. That's my little thing. I think I look through the world with, you know, rose-colored gold glasses. I paint everything gold in my, you know, my heart and in my head. People love to work with people who see things in that kind of optimistic light. Stop saying I can't do it. Stop saying I can't do it. Stop looking through rust and paint the world gold. Here's Fox, my daughter Vale, who, by the way, is running now. She talks, she reads, she's smart. She's developmentally delayed, but she's doing great. And like being able to stay home with her was everything. Here's my nanny. She nannies me. There's Aiden. You know, being able to stay home has been everything to me. And I get to travel. I do quite a bit of traveling, not to look at my properties, because they actually run themselves with my management companies. By the way, you're just going to get third-party management. It's actually easy. I run those 1,500 units in about an hour a week. It's really incredible. It's very systemized. But I travel to speak to you, and I love it. So I can do that. This is easy. Find your deal. Construct your deal. Wholesale your deal or find a JV partner and collect your money. You're ready. You are ready to do this. Just do it. Take action. This is an incredible opportunity. This is my course. I have put all the passion, every single thing I know, and everything about my business into this course. It's buying from banks, REOs, notes, and super creative deal making. It's a phenomenal course. Again, I'm a teacher, and I really have poured everything into it. Here, first you get a manual. It's 250 pages. It is not a regurgitation of my webinar CDs and DVDs. By the way, the 250 pages, single spaced. I put everything in it. It's all my secrets. Oh, I have 8 DVDs also with all my secrets, and 2 other CDs that are audios of those DVDs. What are notes and REOs? Where to find them now? How to identify a great deal? How to avoid big, huge pitfalls? Because that can be the worst thing you could do is close on a bad deal. Talking to banks, finding exactly who can say yes. I have a friend who owns over 3,000 mortgages, and he said, you know, Sue, it may only take 1, 2, or 3 big bankers who can change your entire business, who can change your entire life. Step by step through the process, making massive profits with no experience, every single document and form you need to start your business today. And creative deal making, even the pros don't know. How to buy right with the right terms and create massive value through deal structure, and much, 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 much more. What I did was I also took 8 creative LOIs and note offers, and I did them for you. They're in Word. By the way, this whole course works on both PCs and Macs. I put these LOIs, letters of intent, in Word. So all you need to do is change your name, your LLC name, and how much you want to buy it for. And it's got that creative offer and that note offer right there for component collateralization. A master lease option, that's getting in there with no money and taking over the property so that you can then finance it. Bank seller financing. And again, 9 out of 10 of the deals that we've done, the bank has taken back new financing. JVs, joint venture agreements, an indicative note bid, your indicative note offer, and quite a few more. Again, done in Word, so it's all done for you. Now, you'll love this. I took a software that only CEOs of banks have access to. It's actually, they pay $30,000 a year, up to $30,000 a year for the software. And what I did was I scrubbed the list and took out 1,500 banks that are 4% or more in default. And I created an incredible detailed list of what they have in defaulted notes and what they have in REOs. And it's updated every 6 months for you. You'll get 3 of those, and the first one will come in a hard copy, and if you would like an Excel file, I can send that right to you. And look at, this is what it is. Let's just look at this. So 1,500 banks, here's the company name, here's how much in default they are, where they're located, their county and state, city and state, the phone number, the fax number, their website address, when they were established, and who to contact. Then I took that same list, those same banks, and what I do is I break them down into what they have. What do they have in 90-day residential past due? What do they have in 90-day multi-past due? What do they have in 90-day commercial past due? And what do they have in 90-day totals? And then what do they have in REO residentials on their books right now? What do they have in REO multis? What do they have in REO commercials? And what do they have in REO totals? So when you call those banks, you know what they have. Now, for some of you, I'm going to be offering a big bonus, and it's limited. So you want to go to this website on the screen right now to see what you get, or keep listening. You also can call this phone number on the screen. But this is how to get all the deals you will ever need the easy way. And by the way, I haven't even touched into all the things you get yet. But this is where you're going to go in order to purchase the course, because again, there's going to be a limited supply, and I have this huge bonus. You get the forms and templates CD. This is every single form and template that I use in my business. Scripts to talk to the sellers and the banks exactly what to say, an email template, and a voicemail script. What to leave on a voicemail, what to write in an email template. A loan mod proposal, so you can get out there and actually offer a modification for your friend's loans or for your own loan. A due diligence list for both notes and REOs. Now, this list has taken me 8 years to perfect. After every single deal that I did, I would add things that I forgot to ask for. Now, let's say you're not even going to close on this, but if you bring to the bank this big due diligence list, they know what you're talking about, and you know what you're asking for, and then you add more value to the person that you're going to sell your deals to wholesale if you're not going to close on them. All right, when you do a loan, you have to send out notice and RESPA letters when you take over the loan. Now, you're going to have a servicing company that will do it for you, but I have all those letters in Word that you're required to send out when you take over a loan. So if you want to do just a small loan, a single-family loan, or a few loans, you can start there and do it yourself. A motivated buyers list. This is people to sell to who will buy your deals. Institutions that will buy notes or REOs. And by the way, if you find a great deal and you're looking for a wholesale buyer, we will also help you find that wholesale buyer. More on my form CD, wholesale contracts. It has every form you need to wholesale your deal, everything. The forms to protect you so that they don't steal your deal. The forms to sell that piece of paper to for large profits. I also created a foreclosure timeline and procedure and cost by state, state by state by state, and everything you need to do in that state in order to foreclose. Not because you're necessarily going to foreclose on this deal, but because you need to know how much that's going to cost to figure out, what you want to buy these loans for. A credibility kit template done for you in Word. All you need to do is add some of your credibility, but again, it's done for you. It's a great tool to sell your business. I also did a note credibility template, so that with notes, you've got the notes and the regular property credibility kit template, etc., etc., etc. It's incredible. It's my entire business in a box. Now, I made the most incredible dealmaker software, and it's actually two powerful softwares. First, one is a quick analyzer and creative dealmaker, and what it is it values notes, apartments, commercial, and self-storage really quickly. It also tells you with just a few simple little numbers, it'll tell you whether or not to look into this deal further, whether or not it's a deal you want to do, whether or not it's a deal you want to put into my big analyzer. It'll also, by selecting a couple buttons, will tell you what creative deal you can do with this deal. Now, I also created, which I spent over 100 hours at least, creating a incredible deal software with reports that you can insert right into a package. Now, that's what this one looks like. That was, by the way, when I showed you a little section of that software was the 5-year analyzer. It is a perfect analysis done for you. You will be the pro. It also has 2 DVDs that walk you through how to use this software. It gives you the key numbers of a property. And for those of you who know this, you don't need to know this yet. It gives you cap rate, cash on cash returns, the returns for your investors, 5-year projections on this property. What is it now, and what will it be in 5 years? By the way, it does it all for you. There's all these default settings that allows it so that you can see what it is now and what it will be once you make those differences to it, or what it is now and what it is if Sue were to run the property, because you can agree that what you might get from the seller selling you these deals may not be what is truly being spent on these properties, or they may be just, they may not be not being honest. They may just be omitting things. So you can toggle back and forth from what it would take you to run the deal, or what it's taking them to run the deal, and what it would take me to run the deal. It calculates your closing costs, the rehab numbers to do the deal if you need to rehab some, and then it blended the blended returns for your investor or your buyer, because all you need to do, it's a 4-page analysis, and all you need to do is bring it right to your buyer so that they can buy it wholesale. It's 2 DVDs that walk you through it as well. Oh, here's James from San Diego, California. This course is the best course I have ever seen. The software is off the chart. I have never seen anything so good. She's incredible and part genius. If anyone ever wants to learn about notes and creative deal making, she's the best I have ever seen. That's James. I love him. He's bought almost every course, but he loves mine. He says it's the best he's ever seen. And the software is absolutely incredible. The cost of the course is most definitely worth just even the software alone. As a bonus, I have 5 recorded coaching calls. Those are an hour long each one, and they're all about how to raise private money, how to anything real estate related, how to buy from banks, how to talk to brokers, how to talk to banks, all sorts of things. Those are 5. That's just a little bonus. A quick start guide. This is a 45-minute DVD so you can start the minute you get your package, so you know exactly what to do the minute you get your package. So this is what you get. You get the Buying from Banks manual valued at $5.99, the 8 step-by-step DVDs valued at $7.99. I did a complete audio of those DVDs so you can listen to them in your car as you're driving to that job, you're just over broke job that you're going to leave once you learn this system. Valued at $2.99. The Motivated Bank List, valued at $2,000. The Done For You offers, by the way, the Motivated Bank List, that's all of those contacts, the people to contact, who to contact at the bank, what, and all of the defaulted banks. Done For You offers, priceless. Those are all these letters of intent written in Word. So all you need to do is add your LLC name to it and your and how much you're going to buy it for. The Quick Start DVD, valued at $149. My Forms, My CD, complete business in a box, valued at $549. That's an incredible deal. It is my entire business in a box. My Motivated Buyer Wholesale List, that's who to buy from, for valued at $149. The Done For You Analyzer software. That's the quick analyzer software, so you know whether or not to do the deal quickly and what kind of creative financing technique you can use for it. And the 5-year analyzer, so you'll have that wholesale sheet that you can just run right in. That's valued at $5.99. The total value is $5,143. I'll tell you, this opportunity is priceless. One acquisition fee can be $90,000. Wholesaling fees, $100,000. I mean, it's incredible when you do this business, what you can do. Now, it's only $1,295 for all of that. Now, is it worth it? Well, here's Joyce. She's from New Jersey. She's a former marketing executive, now a full-time real estate investor mother. I've benefited greatly working with Sue, and as a result, I now have a 202-unit apartment complex out of Georgia. I am now in the final stages of the process. I would not have felt comfortable doing this without Sue's valuable information and support. Get out there and do it. She had no experience in real estate. I have 20-year-olds with no experience in real estate who are doing this. Listen, this is an opportunity right now to get involved in a great business. Now, look at the with URL on the screen, the www and the phone number, and call it. Call that phone number. Go to that URL page. It will get you started right away. I have a couple more bonuses, and I even have another discounted price for you. But call that. By the way, I've included an unconditional 30-day money-back guarantee. That's if you're not satisfied for any reason, we will return all of your money. So you really have no risk to you. So what you get is the Buying from Banks manual, the 8 step-by-step DVDs, the complete audios of DVDs, the Motivated Bank List, the Done For You offers, the Quick Start DVD, the Form CD, complete business in the box, and something I didn't even tell you about yet, all the money you need, a hedge fund to fund your deals. Now, it has to be a fantastic deal. But we have the funders who will do it if it's a great deal. And by the way, my customer service, what you'll do is you'll take that deal and you'll bring it to us, and they'll help you decide whether or not it's a good one. We have an incredible customer service. The guy who looks over the deals, he is one of my partners. We have the Motivated Buyer Wholesale List, the Done For You Analyzer software. Total value $6,142. Now, today and today only, it's going to be $995. So you get all of that for $995. So you want to make sure that you call that number. Now, let me just show you one last thing, which is the huge special, ultra special bonus, and I can only do 20 at a time. So you want to make sure that you call right away and you get to that. This is my Jumpstart call certificate. It's with me. It's a 3-month Jumpstart call, and they're live with me question and answer calls, and there are Jumpstart calls that take you through what exactly to do step by step for the first 3 months. It is an incredible thing. I can only take 20 of you. It is my certificate. It's my Jumpstart certificate. It'll make you be successful right away so that you have us to turn to. and you don't want to miss that. I only have 20 of those. Those are 20 of my Jumpstart certificates. You'll get on the phone on planned calls as well with me. They will be question and answer calls. You also get 4 other Jumpstart calls that walk you through the wholesaling process, the talking to the banks, and just catapult your business and get you started right away. So you want to go, this is your opportunity right now. You want to go to this URL that's on the screen to get all of those things. This is an opportunity right now. You need to take advantage of it. You want to educate yourself. It's all about the knowledge. Knowledge is power. Call this number. We're standing by. The nicest people in the world who will help you catapult your business, or go to that URL and put in your credit card information. Again, I can only take 20, so you want to make sure that you're in there. This is a physical product as well, so it will be sent to your house, and it's incredible. You will love it. Welcome to our family. We take incredible care of our students. Our students are our first priority. And again, we have incredible customer service. So you get all of those things. What you get, notes plus REOs equals freedom. Take advantage of this opportunity. It won't be around forever. You got to get involved now. Call that number right now. Go to that website right now. And welcome to the family. Have a great one, guys.